What is going on, everybody? Nazdaraji coming back to you again today with another episode for Dragon Ball Legends. And I know it's been almost a full day since the Bojack banner dropped, but I did want to talk about version 1.38 as well as the banner itself, and we'll quickly go over some of the new characters. There's 4 of them, 2 Sparkings, 2 EXs. I'm sure all of you guys know that already. But the game itself, with the 1.38 update, came with a lot of different little changes in terms of quality of life and stuff like that. Like, there's tons of new stuff going on. Again, I'm sure plenty of you know about it already, but just wanted to kind of summarize everything, get something out there for today. Again, I'm always late, you guys. I had to drive to DC last night. It took up like all of my morning and then slept a little bit during the day, and now we're here. So, going into the character screen, we'll start with some of the updates that I like about this whole new system and version that we have, and then we'll go into like 1 or 2 things that we don't really like. So they've revamped, just in terms of quality of life, this whole character screen right here. Soul boosting gets its own little subsection here, and it's very easy to navigate. That's very similar. Everything else is pretty different, you guys. So not only have they introduced new ways of building teams as well as team presets, which are just more team slots basically that you can save to memory, then call them in and out of action. You can get 2 of these right now for free just by buying them from the exchange shop. I picked up 1 of them. Haven't really messed with them yet, but that's actually a pretty welcome feature because now I can build out more teams and won't have to spend as much time just going back through everything. There's also ways to auto-select everything in terms of selecting characters and equipment for a team, selecting only characters, selecting only equipment. I generally don't recommend that you always just auto-select for the equipment because you may have a couple of different pieces and one on paper might be better. Like, you might have an S of one piece of equipment, but then you might have an A that is honestly just a better piece because it has like the more to the attack stat maybe than the S piece does, but the S piece has good rolls on the other 2 stats. So you might not always want to automatically pick equipment if you're going for very specific stat buffs on certain characters. Automatically building a team, also not really something I'm super interested in, but if you're newer at the game, it's actually pretty nifty because you can pick tags and build teams just specifically around certain tags. So this really is a cool feature here, guys. It's better for newer players as opposed to veterans because veterans already have a really good idea of what's going on. But, you know, when there gets to be a lot more characters in the game further down the road, this might be useful for everybody. Just sorting through all these characters definitely can become a nightmare here. Also, they've removed the equipment, or at least how you get to it, from what we're normally used to. There used to be like a separate tab for equipping equips and changing party members. Now it's all just kind of in the same area. Like, you'll pick a character, then you pick their equipment. It's fairly interesting. However, I did like the old display screen where you could just see your whole team vertically and then all the equipment that everyone was wearing and then the ability boost at the bottom. It's a little bit more of a pain in the butt to show off complete teams with the equipment they're wearing now, just from this view here, now that they've kind of combined them into one. But I don't know, it is what it is, you guys. There's plenty of more filters and different stuff that you can add. They just kind of revamped a lot of the cosmetic looks of all this stuff right here as well, made it a little bit brighter and more vibrant, so that's pretty neat. There's also some different systems going on with equipment. Again, they've moved all of the equipment stuff, including Awakening, to this new sub-menu right here where it's just kind of all in one. And it's pretty similar in terms of upgrading or selling up here. It's a little bit easier to kind of navigate between the 2 without having to experience like loading menus and loading screens, stuff like that. However, something that is extremely new and very welcome about equipment is this ability to remove rolls on stat slots and then re-roll that same piece of equipment. So for example here, I have this A piece that I got lucky on and rolled a gold slot on the end there with base blast attack 16%. The strike defense pretty good too. Special move damage is a little bit low. So if I wanted to, for example, let's unselect that there. If I wanted to upgrade, and then we can go remove slot, Let's go to that piece of Gogeta equipment. I don't even know if I have the resources to do this right now, but we can remove slot 2 with 10 Chrono Crystals or with one of these erasers and Zenny. And these erasers are just a new item to farm that's out in various events and stuff like that. A little bit more challenging to get right now. They're brand new, but I'm sure they will start popping up more and more frequently. But for now, you know, and this could go either way, you guys. We could get a worse number here. But let's spend 10 Chrono Crystals, remove that ability, and then re-roll it. How does that actually work? So can we just go and upgrade it now? Like we removed a middle ability. It had to have dropped down here to B. I've never actually tried that before, removing a middle ability. Okay. How's this gonna work out? Yeah, so it's just missing the dash in the middle. That's very interesting. Alright, let's upgrade it again and see what happens. Hey, see? So we just upgraded from an A to an S on that one piece of equipment right there, which is quite nice, you guys. The ability to do that on equipment that you already have instead of having to just constantly waste energy refarming the same pieces of equipment over and over again is actually extremely cool, and I really do like that feature about this game that they've added that. So that's really quite nice there. Character list is identical, so we've talked about the teams, the different ways of doing that. If you go into the rushes here, there's like new automatic ways to select different teams. I, again, don't generally recommend doing that either. I'm a little bit behind on these right now, you guys, but finish the challenge rush. But yeah, like automatic team building selections, just it's not very good because it like lines you up with all 6 characters, and then you spend more time removing certain characters and rebuilding it the way you actually want it. So I don't know, maybe again when there's just a lot more characters in the game it'll be more useful, but it's still a step in the right direction. Anything else really new going on over here? I mean, there is the new Bojack event, but you can't get to stage 50 yet, so there's no point in really going too crazy on it yet. And I know I'm going to forget stuff, you guys. It's just inevitable. They've added too much different stuff. We have the new banner, of course. We'll get to that and some of the issues with that. Ah, yes, new platinum coins. So there is a new coin currency you can get. It seems to be coming from Legends Road Gohan right now. It seems like you can hold 3 platinum coins at once, and this is where we're seeing the erasers and the gold bells are finally in the game. So by collecting these 3 coins, you can trade them for different sets of stuff here. The summoning tickets, not super useful for me, but the gold bells and the erasers might be quite useful. So platinum coins, something new that's easy to overlook at first. We've checked out the slot removers. We've got new Super Space Time Duel, login bonus, auto select, tons of features being added. Let's check this out right here. There's a 1%. We've upgraded the character screen, improved user interface. This is stuff that honestly you guys could just look at and see for yourself. Auto select to the party formation screen, auto select, add the preset parties. We talked about how you can get extra team slots for free right now from the exchange shop. Let's see, auto select to adventures. That's pretty useful. Auto select for adventures, I do like that. Move related functions to the equipment screen. Again, everything was good with that except how we lost that one view of the team and how it's set up there. Improved summon screen user interface. We're going to check that out in a minute. I don't necessarily think that it's an improvement, but it's definitely more vibrant, that's for sure. And new story. If you're not sure what to do, you can auto select, open presets. That's for designing additional pre-made teams. Registered preset party expander. Again, they'll probably be selling those in the shop for real money soon enough, but it is what it is. Yeah, we've covered all that with the equipment and slot removing. We showed that off right there. Just kind of keeping everyone up to date again, features that many of you guys probably already know about. And yeah, that's pretty much all for in there. Purchased that ticket too, so we'll be making that summon, but there's not much left. Oh yeah, they updated the Sparking Metal or Coin Shop, so they got the Bardock, the Pod Frieza, and some other new options in there now. And I don't know, you guys, if I forgot anything, feel free to remind me and let me know, but I feel like we've covered everything in terms of the updates to the game. Level Cap Racer 3000. Whew. Man, that was almost 5 months ago now. That means we're probably going to be looking at more level caps soon enough, you guys. Soon enough. The Bojack event only going to stage 50 and be considered normal difficulty at level 4500. Definitely a good indicator that harder content's probably not too far away. Alright, anything else that we really need to cover? We can just pop into the shop real quick and show you what I was talking about with the pre-made party slots. In case you guys have not seen those, then we'll go check out the summoning banner. And you guys, the title for this video might be indicative about what I'm about to say, but this new format for the banners is not good. It is not good at all. So right here is your team expansion right there. That's what you want to get. And you can get slot removers in here too. Alright, that's neat. So yeah, I already spent some money on those pre-made team things, which I'm low on those medals right now. I wish they'd add some you could buy with the Z medals, because I have plenty of those. Alright, you guys, but yeah, let's just get on to the summoning banner. If I forgot anything with the actual core gameplay changes in the update, feel free to let me know down in the comments. Again, we're already kind of late as it is coming up on this. Jumping into the summons here, again, you can see the cosmetic stuff that they have done to improve everything. I honestly, I'm not sure whether it looks better or not. But let's make a daily summon there real quick, and then we're actually not going to have enough crystals to make daily summons across everything. But that's fine, I can go back and do that on my own time. So we'll skip that there. None of this looks really that different after you hit the summon button. But yeah, you guys, you see they basically added that yellow border to the buttons. But the real elephant in the room and why this stinks here is this right here. I kind of covered it on Twitter, but every summon you make, every multi-summon or consecutive summon, you will get guaranteed 30 Z-power of one of the 4 new featured characters, where you initially read that, it actually doesn't sound bad on paper, but when you start mathing it out, this is a really terrible system here, you guys. Especially compared to like the 999 system, was much, much better. Like, yes, this is guaranteed new featured units, but pulling only 30 Z power, you need to pull 4 of them to unlock the unit at 0 stars, which is 120 Z power, doing it with this odd number they've set up here. So 120 Z power, 0 stars, and 4 multis you have to get. Now, in those 4 multis, you have a 1 out of 4 chance of getting one of the new featured units. So you could go 10 to 15 multis and still only have like 1 of the new units at 0 stars. And then the other ones have like 60, 30, 90 Z power on them. I've seen a picture, which I shared on Twitter, of exactly that, where the person had 90, 90, 60, and 60 on his Z-powers, hadn't gotten any of the new units because, you know, just didn't get good luck. Like, this system encourages you to make more multi-summons, and to do that, you have to buy more currency. So, 999, way better. Like, again, you're not guaranteed one of the new units when you do a 999 pull, but you only have to pull a unit 11 times on a 999 banner to get them all the way maxed out at 7 stars. Again, that's whale territory there, but just the economics of this are very, very bad. They're very bad. So let's make a multi-summon on it and see what happens. Probably nothing good. I also didn't hit the download all button. So yeah, we know we're not getting anything good here because we didn't see downloading. But we got the ticket, so we can probably get the shaft on that as well. There's like old units on this. Gold text too. There's old units on this banner that are just not very good. The cooler, which is probably what I'm looking at. Cooler, the yellow Bojack, something crazy like that. I should have hit download all. I know this is going to be awful, you guys. But, oh, Hero Nail, take that. Hey, the legendary Super Saiyan Broly. I actually did not have him, but I've hit downloading all before, so that's actually not bad. So his data was already in my stuff. Still a new unit for me, but not one of the 2 new featured UST units. I thought that was going to be real bad, but it's again, something new for me. It's the green one there. Start collecting some of the old stuff I was never able to get. I really need Mai, you guys. That's one of the kickers. And we got Hero Nail to 3 stars as well. So not terrible. Actually not disappointed with that. That's the only multi-summon I'm going to be able to make on this banner as of right now, you guys, just because these sales that are in the shop are ridiculous right now. They're way too expensive. Alright, yeah, and you see we got 30 Z power for the EX Broly. Like, what am I going to do with that? Nothing right now, because I'm not making any more multis on this banner. So let's go ahead and throw a ticket out here. We'll do this. We'll cover the new units. Again, oh, downloading. I'm getting something new. Of the two, I would prefer probably Gohan, because my Son family situation is better than my movies, but Bojack has really good cover cut. Alright, well, the ticket came through from the shop. We get something new. And since there's no 999 situation on this banner anyway, we'll take either way. Alright, Bojack. I'm not disappointed about that at all. I just don't have the EX Bojack or the EX Zanya. And they all go very, very well together. But that's really cool. Let's check out his card art here real quick. Since we got him, what do we do with you, Bojack? Long press. Long pressing seems to help. Alright, he's glowing. What's he gonna do? Oh, shoot off some beams of light. Anything else? Is this all you do, Bojack? God, it still looks really cool. Swiping do anything? Up, down, vertical. No. What about another long press? Alright, well I think that's all he does. He just glows there angrily. But, again, very, very cool looking unit. I like his cover change. Let's actually hop in. I'm kind of just rambling now at this point. Let's hop in and check out the new characters here and see exactly what they're all about. Now, I've read up on them a little bit, so we're going to try and get through this fairly quickly, but we kind of knew that Gohan is a defense unit while in Super Saiyan 1 pose, and then when he transitions into Super Saiyan 2, he will then switch over to a more offense-based unit. He does not have an Ultimate Arts technique, but he does have some pretty good passives and abilities that make him a pretty reasonable character. And that looks really cool right there. It's kind of like, oh, it's just like the Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku, where it's like a non-LF, basically. That silhouette and that art was really, really good on that. I actually quite liked that. But yes, yellow type, so he only conflicts really on Son family with the other yellow Goku that goes with the blue Gohan and the Goten. But here we have a melee type with only 118k strike attack. That is pre-transformation though, when he is in defense mode, so you have to remember that. He's got typical tags, Son family, hybrids, and movies. Nothing out of the ordinary there, and relatively good defenses. You know, before transformation, again, he is that defense type. 83k on either type of defense with 1.1 million health is not bad. After transformation, defenses pretty much stay the same, but ooh, his strike attack goes up to almost 150k. That is really good with 130k on the blast attack there as well, and Super Saiyan 2 tag. Alright, fairly decent there. Before transformation to Super Kamehameha, major impact damage, 20% strike damage inflicted, that's good right there. Power Surge, restores on ki by 30, inflicts enemy downgrade 50% of damage received, and you can combo out of it into Strike, Blast, or blue cards. I like how they've added this right here to let you know what you can combo out of certain green cards with. That's actually pretty useful. After transformation, Unwavering Blow, massive impact damage, 20% of damage inflicted for 10 timer counts upon activation. Again, really good there, and the art on that one was super slick. Restore zone ki by 30 on Power Surge, and inflict enemy with a tribute downgrade 50% of damage received, and comboable in the exact same way. So Gohan here, again, you can see it's really exploiting his defense to offense gimmicks. You could even start him on like a Trinity team with Bardock, but towards the end of the battle, of course, that's not going to be nearly as effective. Main ability will transform into Super Saiyan 2. No switching for 10 timer counts. So he's got the same type of lockout as Bardock and Ribrianne. Maybe even a little bit better than Ribrianne, because you can use this and then immediately exploit Rising Rush, whereas Ribrianne, you can't really do that without sacrificing her Ultimate Arts card. So this one might even be a little bit better than Ribrianne's lockout just because of that functionality right there, at the drawback of him not having an Ultimate Arts technique. But, you know, the blue card was nice enough. 24% to hybrid sand-based strike attack. Expands to include movies as well if you get him to 5 stars. Desperate Valor reduces damage received by 50% for 10 timer counts when this character enters the battlefield. Activates twice. So you get those 2 activations. By the time you've used those 2, you're probably ready to transform anyway. And he also gets 25% to his strike damage. Reduces enemy Dragon Balls count by 1. That's very interesting because Gohan really has no association with the Dragon Balls directly in the series. You know, like Bulma or Captain Ginyu are always getting or stealing Dragon Ball, stuff like that. So that's a very interesting mechanic that they tacked on there for him. Desperate Battle applies the following effects to self after enemy attack is over. Activates twice. It buffs his strike damage by 15%. Cannot be canceled. Cannot be canceled. And there's no time limit on it. So that's a permanent buff twice, just from taking damage and tanking. Reduces damage received by 10%. And these effects will continue after he transforms. So permanent buffs to offense and defense just from him taking damage. That's really good. This last passive is just a buff to the coins in the Saiyaman Legends Road event. I am my father's son. Main ability as a Super Saiyan 2. Draws a special move arts card next. Restores his ki by 50. Reduces enemy ki by 50. And he can do it 5 seconds after his transformation while the enemy is still locked in. That's the important part about this timer right here, which makes that pretty good right there. Lowering their ki is extremely effective as well. Nothing changes on C abilities. Explosive Rage applies the following effects to self after transformation. He restores his health by 30%. 30% to his damage inflicted, which cannot be canceled and will add to those other buffs that carry over. Applies buff effect, nullify abnormal conditions up to 3 times. So this is a character that's great to use to withstand Android 17's full team paralyze. This is one of those characters like the Red Super Saiyan God Goku who just don't really have to worry about that stuff quite as much as another more regular character. So pretty good on these passives there. Gifted Power applies the following effect to self per defeated battle member. So he's an anchor unit, and when he enters the battlefield, 30% to special move damage inflicted, -3 to all arts costs. So when he comes into battlefield, when 2 people are dead, -6 to all arts costs and 60% to his special move damage. That's some late game nuking right there, you guys. 15% to damage inflicted for 10 timer counts when faced with an enemy from the movie's saga. So if you're facing like Bojack or someone on the movies team, you get extra little tiny damage buff there. Gohan. It's a very, very good unit, actually. I'm actually surprised how stacked he is. But he's not like wildly OP. Like a lot of the units that are coming out nowadays are actually more competitive, which is nice. There's not one that just comes out and they're like, oh my god, that character's overpowered, like, you know, like the purple Broly was back in the day. So that actually works out quite nicely right there. Everything's got some good balance to it. Thanos would be pleased. Alright, on to Bojack here while I quit stammering. Health 1.248 million, strike attack 127k, so almost a full 21,000 less than Gohan's on the strike attack there. And he's got type disadvantage to Gohan, which honestly makes sense. 118 blast attack, okay, and 80k on both defenses, not terrible. His melee comes with a bleed card, and his only tags are movies and transforming warrior. So he's a little bit short on tags there, but I mean, it's Bojack. I mean, what are they gonna have, like a space pirate tag? That probably wouldn't work out too well. All right, strike is fairly normal unless you're using the bleed one. Galactic Buster deals massive explode damage, reduces enemy ki by 60 on hit, and it's teachable. Like a lot of the new special moves we've been seeing haven't been teachable, like Android 13, or at least the fused version of him, and then Android Super 17. Neither of them can be taught to Shallot, as far as I remember. Galactic Throw. Increase arts card draw speed by 1 level 15 timer counts. Inflicts enemy with 15% to impact damage received for 20 timer counts. And it combos into pretty much everything. And he's got blast armor. This reminds me of the full power Android 13's green card. I'm sure it's quite similar. Just different set of buffs on there. The card draw speed one's actually not bad at all. Alright, Bojack can be a little bit easier to get through here because it doesn't have a transformation. Main ability, draws a strike arts card next, restores on ki by 30 and 30% to strike damage inflicted for 40 timer counts. It's a little bit of a weak main ability, but the 40-second buff on the 30% damage is probably one of the best parts about that. The ki reduction and strike arts, but this is a little bit weak when you compare it to something like an ultimate arts technique or something that's like, I don't know, really, really good. Even like the Gohan's got a much better one than that. But he has other things that make him a extremely decent character, even, you know, considering that. 22% to Sagas from the Movies base strike attack. It upgrades to add defense as well at 5 stars. Galaxy's Strongest Warrior reduces damage received from tags Super Saiyan by 20%. Doesn't specify Super Saiyan 2 though, or Super Saiyan 3. So this is again like an anti-Trinity character in this passive. Applies the following effects to self when he enters the battlefield. 40% to his damage inflicted. You add that to his main. You're looking at 70% to at least the strike damage category. And let's see, restores ki by 40, cancels attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions. So another character that's pretty reasonable to deal with Super 17's full squad paralyzed. If Bojack's not on the field, the paralyze goes off. Once you sub him in, it'll remove it, so you don't have to worry about that. 25% to damage inflicted by allied Sagas from the Movies characters for 15 timer counts when you swap Bojack out. So a little bit of a damage buffer for his teammates there. Just a little bit of support in there. Merciless Shield. This is a pretty neat ability right here. Restores own health by 30% once 40 timer counts have elapsed from the battle start. So you kind of want to use them early on just because that auto heal is going to trigger at 40 seconds. Knocks back an enemy to long range if cover change is performed against any of their arts cards attacks, and reduces the health of the switched out ally by 15%. This is a direct nod to when Bojack uses Zanya as a human shield in the movie, and I think it's cool, you guys. Basically, your teammate's gonna eat the hit, I believe, if the animation plays out like a human shield. You guys saw I just pulled him, I haven't seen it yet. But human shield, and it works even against ultimate arts attacks and will cancel them out. So if you have Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku coming in with his like 150% plus ultimate arts, you could sub Bojack in front of it, and as an arts card, it will cancel out for only 15% damage to your ally. Very, very cool. You can combo out of this like into a blue card, very similar to most of the other cover changes in the game. I just really like it. It works against everything but Rising Rush, basically, and I guess maybe like a tap attack. I mean, it's not really a combo anyway if you're doing tap stuff. So yeah, basically works against everything except for Rising Rush. It's pretty neat, but at the cost of hurting your ally. Applies the following effects to self when at least one ally is defeated. 20% to damage inflicted, so you'll be at 90% to your strike damage if you combine all the other buffs we just looked at. 30% to ki recovery, -5 to strike arts cost. So again, he seems a little bit less overwhelming just on paper compared to Gohan, but he's got a lot of stuff going for him, and again, it's going to be a very good counter to any Super Saiyan 1 characters as well. So I like Bojack here. I'm kind of glad I pulled him, but I think the Gohan would have been a little bit better. However, we have guaranteed tickets from logging in and from an event, so hopefully both you guys and myself get lucky and get the other characters as well. Now, there are 2 EX characters on here also. In the effort to not keep this video too long, I'm not gonna like go crazy in depth on them, but they are dual chromatic Z ability buffers, you guys. Just wow, that's exactly like the old Blue Broly sparking. Card art is, I don't know, he's looking real thick on that card art, but it looks good. But again, you guys, he's range type. They're dual chromatic buffers, movies characters here. Strike Blast, nothing out of the ordinary. Blaster Shell, restores own ki by 20. Unlock form of attack, destroys all your cards. Destroys all your red and yellow cards and draw a yellow card. 100% to your next yellow card or blue card. So basically you want to use this green card when you have a blue card in your hand, and it'll buff the blue card. That's the best possible usage of it there. Main ability restores his ki by 70, increases his card draw speed, -15 to own blast arts cost. That's pretty good for an EX unit there, you guys. It's nothing to sneeze at. This is where things kind of get crazy right here, you guys. When you get him to 5 stars, 40% to both yellow and blue base strike attack and blast defense. So naturally, he's going to pair reasonably well with hit on a yellow-yellow-blue team right there. If you get him to 7 stars, which is like Uber Whale Lord territory, it's a 50% buff to both yellow and blue strike attack and blast defense. So you get a double color, double buff that's 50% to both stat categories. That is really the insane part about this EX unit and the EX Android 13. Like, that is pretty wild right there. But of course, getting them to 7 stars is a challenge in and of itself. The drop rates on EX units are not good. Following effects occur on the character enters battlefield. 30% to his damage. Inflicts enemies with no switching for 3 timer counts. So kind of like the God Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. 35% of damage received. Inflicts enemy with 35% of damage received. So that's a debuff for the enemy. That's still good there. Unparalleled power. 35% to strike damage inflicted against Goku. Any Goku. 35% to blast damage inflicted against Saiyans or hybrid Saiyans. And the following effects occur when you switch Broly off the field. 25% to damage inflicted by allied yellow or blue for 15 timer counts. Again, something that makes him combo with hit pretty dang well there. Inflicts enemy with a tribute downgrade. +5 to their strike and blast arts cost for 10 timer counts. Reasonably dang good for an EX card there, you guys. That's pretty almost like sparking levels in terms of what he's looking like. I'm feeling this is going to be identical to the Blue 13's card. Blue card right here. Yep. Identical to Blue 13. Wait, does he not have a hat? He doesn't have the hat. That's like his hat's already knocked off in this character model. I don't know if I like that. Alright, he's red. He does the same thing, but he does it for red and green, I believe. Red, and he upgraded 5. Red and green. Yep, strike, attack, and defense. Get him to 7 stars. It'll be 50% right there. His stats are passable, and he's melee type instead of the blue one being a blast type. Deadly Bomber. Randomly destroys 2 enemy cards on hit. Still not teachable, though. But that's actually not awful, especially if they've already drawn like an Ultimate Arts technique, or if you're destroying Dragon Balls. Restores on ki by 40 and 20% of damage inflicted. Pretty good. Pretty good on his abilities there. Main ability, no one's getting out of here alive. 30% to damage inflicted by allied red or green units on your team for 30 seconds. Short ally substitution counts by 5. Inflicts all enemies with an extra 5 to their substitution counts. That's pretty technical, very supportive main ability, but it's, again, not bad if you make proper usage of it. You bring the right team, basically, is all you have to do. Everything else just kind of works out on its own. You can swap more, and they can swap less. So yeah, just make use of it, and that's how you get good use out of it. Alright, we covered the Z ability already. The Final Awakened Android reduces next damage sustained by 70% when the battle begins. This applies until the enemy combo is finished. So he's got a one-time use from the start of the battle, super tank ability. That's really weird for a melee type character. Applies the following effects to self after enemy attack is over. Activates once. 30% to strike damage inflicted. Increases arts card draw speed by 1 level for 30 seconds. These are really interesting passive right there. Something I would more expect to see like on a defense type character almost. Hardwired Hatred. 20% to damage inflicted against character Goku. Cannot be cancelled. Following effects occur per element red, green, or purple battle member other than this character in your party. He gets permanent stacking damage and key recovery buffs of 15%. So up to 30% of each if you team build properly. Android 13. Interesting unit right there. But honestly, I think Gohan's probably the best. Unless you have like a really powerful, very well set up Bojack squad. Then you could probably make a really good team out of him as well. And if you actually bring Zanya and use her as a human shield with a cover change, I applaud you for doing that. I think that's about everything we have to cover here, you guys. Now I gotta go level up a Broly and a Bojack. And let's see, we covered the team building stuff. We gotta start making presets. We've covered the equipments and re-rolling specific slots on pieces of equipment. We covered the shadiness of this new banner archetype, the characters themselves. We made a few summons, so I'm just thinking out loud to make sure I kind of covered everything. There's more story in the game, just UI, quality of life updates. Again, you guys, if I forgot anything, definitely let me know down below. Auto-selecting for adventures and stuff. There are plenty of little quality of life and just minor updates to the game itself today. And that's pretty much it for now. I know this is like a good 12 to 15 hours late, but sorry about that, you guys. I was really busy having to make a little road trip last night and doing some other stuff today during the day. So I got it out as soon as I could. I know my algorithm's kind of quiet right now on YouTube, so whoever sees this, I appreciate you watching it, and hopefully I will see you guys again very soon. You guys have a great evening. Good luck to you if you made any summons. I do hope you had or will have the best of luck. And until next time, we'll see you soon, you guys. Peace out and have a good one.